Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It's time for Friday night on the Homestead, and tonight's topic, your favorite homestead tool. Hey, everybody, how you doing there? So this is going to go a little different than what you probably think, but first let me go over and say hi to everybody, catch everybody that's been coming in here at the last. All right, so first one in was Walt Rogers, followed by Sue Me, then Mother Earth Garden Club, then Phelan Clan Wolf, then Chef Tech, then Geeky Gardens, Tammy Harder, Susan Goulet came in, Rick Thielen came in from down in Australia. And those are the only ones talking so far. Now, I got a couple lurkers because it says I got 12 people in here. So, 8, how's it going? Your brain. That's not a bad tool. All righty. So, what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here right now real quick here. Diana, too, just came in. All right, there's the link. If any of you guys want to and gals want to come up here, pinning that. There we go. All righty, so I know I'm going to wait for Mark's going to come jumping up here real quick because I know what his favorite tool is, and my current favorite tool is. If I could afford it, I'd have a different one. So let's head over here. I only got 2 slides here to show you guys. There he is.
Yeah, I was talking about.
Right, so here is.
I was like, oh my God, I got to get on this. Send you the link. Yeah, there's my track. I don't have the
my Coyote tractor.
I want the
this is I don't have one to show mine in operation like still, but this is next size up for mine. I have the backhoe attachment for mine. I got the brush hog attachment. I got the rotor tiller attachment. I got the mow blade attachment. I got the drag box attachment. I got the mow blade, yeah, that angle blade. Oh, I got the rock rake. I don't have the postal digger. I wish I did. And Lewis there, it's the Marshmallow Man.
I have a post
hole,
but it's meant for a 60 horse tractor.
I've used my little tractor so much. Problem is, it is small. It's I can go through 4 foot wide a lot of places with it and stuff. But for some things, I've had to rent a mini excavator, one of those 120 horsepower little mini excavators. I've rented the 78 horsepower Bobcat mini track loaders, not a skid steer, mini track loaders, got tracks.
Hey, can you hear me?
Except
you can't hear me.
The staff sergeant plays on them too, and that's why I chose this picture because it's got a woman up there running it. But yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. It shows your mic is not muted. So I can barely see you. Oh, hang on. I forgot to plug this in. Now I can hear you.
I'm sitting there talking. You're talking. I'm like, wait. Can you hear me? Let me type it in.
Yeah.
And I didn't see your headphone. I don't have the backhoe attachment. I wish I got it, but it was like another $8,000 add-on. Whoa. Yeah, well, for my tractor.
Mine was only like $1,700 added onto it.
Well, you have a smaller tractor.
Yeah, smaller one. Well, see, mine was set up a little bit different. Yours is going to be set up like this one here, where you have the driver's seat and a separate seat for the backhoe attachment, and it hooks up a little bit differently. Whereas mine has a solid undercarriage that I just back up. I take the 3-point arms off, back up to the thing, hook, and snag it and plug everything in, and just I can go with it. But I use the feet spins around.
Yeah, see, I got my buddy Richard, who is now watching, but he still hasn't figured out how to hit the like button or comment. But we're going to work on that Sunday.
Yeah.
He gave me his dad's post hole digger, which is off a 60-horse tractor, so it's a little tall. So when we want to dig a hole, we have to I have to back the tractor up until, drop it here, and I drive forward. Of course, it stands it way up.
Yeah.
And then have to dig slowly, because if I dig too quick, it'll screw itself into the ground, and then you're screwed.
Yeah. The other thing to consider doing is looking around on eBay, Marketplace, or any place, or even Craigslist for a short auger.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. We thought, but this post hole digger is from like the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave me we have the one that's the auger on there now, I think is a 10-inch. He gave me one that went with it, which is a 6-inch.
Yeah.
But of course, you drill 6-inch holes, really 8 inches by the time you get done.
Yeah.
And we'll be using that to put a whole lot of fence posts in around the property. Hopefully this year, we'll see what happens. But it's just a little tall, but it works. He's like to keep it. It just lives out there.
Yeah, but you can get the short augers for it. That way it'll work better for you. And
you can do it yourself.
I've seen them with short augers with extensions. So you dig down, dump it off, dig down, dump it off, dig down. Okay, it's down as low as it's going to go. Let's put the extension on there, and you just go a little bit more.
Right.
Until you're at the point where, this is going to be,
I really want the PTO wood chipper that fits my tractor. He's got one, but it's for the 60 horse, and I measured it. No, the PTO input on that thing is like 18 inches higher than my output shaft, and that's when it's sitting on the ground and it's too short. It won't do it.
Yeah.
So. And it probably wouldn't. And it's got the auto feed and everything else on there. I'm like, oh my God, this would be great. So,
one of the things to consider about tractors when we got when we bought the Coyote, my wife, who I love to death, let her accountant come out. And said, no, you only need to get this, or you're not going to be using it that much. And so we got the smallest one there because it happened to be on sale. If we'd spent 50% more, I would have had one about your size with more power and the quick change bucket on it with the oil heater. Came with an oil heater in the engine already, block heater in it already. Came with the fuel tank heater, but it was, and I wouldn't have gotten the backhoe attachment on it, which I could have done without anyways. Because for when I want to dig trenches around here anymore, unless I'm just repairing a small thing. Even the last time I did repairs, I rented the Bobcat.
The Traco.
70 model with a full enclosed cab, and just went to town on it. But two more people just came in. Don, WD Glock and Roll, and Tammy Rebel Canners. And so, so when it comes, she's now, when she sees me using it so much, she goes, "You're going to kill it. You're going to kill it. Stop using it so much." I said, "I told you I was going to be using it all the friggin' time." And she's like, "Eh." And so if we can turn around and sell it with just the backhoe attachment on it, not with any of the other 3-point attachments, like I'll keep all the 3-point attachments. If I can sell it with with a sell it with the backhoe attachment and the
they get the 35 horse one, yeah.
Well, even that, I might froze. I would go something totally different. I would go with the JBC track loader that has the 3-point hitch on the back.
Yeah.
Then I can use the rotor tiller and go straight, and not because when you have the rotor tiller on the front, you got to back up as you rotor tilling. Otherwise, you leave tracks in the middle of your freshly rotor tilled stuff.
You have a rototiller for the front of your tractor?
No. The Bobcats and skid steer and track ones come.
Bucket. Yeah.
They come. Most of them have a quick change bucket that quick change to the rotor tiller attachment. And that's, again, I've rented it with the rotor tiller attachment, and that's the problem. I would have to back up if I wanted to leave it nice and smooth. If I didn't care about it, I'm just turning weeds under and turning stuff under and just going to leave the field as it looks afterwards. Then I just drove forward with the rotor tiller and just turned everything under and did everything. Not a big deal.
Right. See, I got the 6-foot rototiller attachment for mine. It hasn't left the container yet. It will this year because I'm going to be doing those tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah.
And just break up all the stuff there. And I got lots of good dirt and worms there, so I don't want to break it too deep, just enough to get my stuff in there and let the roots do the rest.
All right. Let's see. So Sumi got a Honda rear tine tiller last year.
Cool.
Those walk behind ones that are power walking ones. Yeah, those are cool. I can't remember the brand offhand. When my brother was doing landscaping right out of high school for the first 2 years, he would rent these ones.
Troy Bell.
No.
Oh, whatever.
No, these things make Troy Belt look like a little putt-putt. These are the ones that the commercial guys get, and rear tine one and stuff, and it would go down 12 inches. And I watched him sometimes when they had some soil that was kind of hard and stuff. He'd actually have two guys stand on the hood of the tines to put down pressure on it, and it would just go, and he had low gear, it had multiple gears on, and it just, walk behind it, and he just chew right through everything, and it was amazing. But a good rear tiller is great.
I got one of those little Mantis ones. They were fine. I still have one. I bought a Craftsman after one of them died, and they're good for my raised beds. But now it's like I don't even use it anymore. I just dig a hole. I use my hands. I just dig a hole and put my stuff in there because I don't need to till it
anymore.
Tilling it.
You've got it all mixed in. You got biomass in there. You just the one I want to get is like a JBC 85 horsepower track loader with the 3-point hitch on the back, because the 3-point hitch on the back of it, you can hook up a backhoe like this thing here on it, and so you can back up to wherever you're going to need to dig a trench, and you just. And with fun with something like that, I can have my wife in the cab. I can be sitting out back on the backhoe. We have the headset. It's like the FRS radios, but it's on its own frequency.
Right.
And that way I can say, all right, pull forward about 3 feet. Okay, pull forward 2 more feet. Okay, go ahead and pull forward 5 feet. As I'm digging the trench, and say, all right, turn a little bit to your right. All right, go ahead, and we can work as a team that way. That way I just keep on going. Because when I worked for a construction company, we had one like that. And that worked so friggin' sweet. Because one person would be on the back doing it, and the other guy would be driving it. It was actually a John Deere 450 dozer with a backhoe attachment on it.
Oh, cool.
And so they would go along. They would be cutting the road as we went, and the one guy would be on the back digging, the other one would be run the dozer, and they just. But so this is Mark's and my favorite tool is a Coyote tractor.
Yep. Does it have a PTO on it too?
Oh yeah, it has everything on. So basically, when I take the backhoe off, I put the 3-point arms back on, and then I can hook up to my rotor tiller, my drag box, my angle blade, my landscape rake or rock rake,
right?
Whatever you want to call it, and the brush hog. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that just works. Works really great, and it has saved me so. Froze again. It works great, for keeping all the weeds and thing under control. But yeah,
I think the best attachment I have for mine is the grapple in the front.
Yeah.
I haven't put the bucket back since I put the grapple on it. I have not put the bucket back on. I don't need the bucket for much of anything right now. It's still there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But the grapple is great because I can literally scrape the ground, pick up rocks. I can pick up trees, bushes, brush, just shove, drive the tractor into a giant pile of brush, squeeze it, pick it up, drag it over, and drop it somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. Rick is heading out. So it was midday down there, I guess. And so I guess he's it's Saturday down there for him. So he's probably got something to do.
Oh, he's down in Australia, right?
Yep. Down in Sydney. Yeah, it was where was it here? Yeah, there's his comment. Yeah, midday Saturday, Sydney. Yeah. All right, now this next slide here. My dad had a forge, and he fixed every tool that any of us could break: pull soul diggers, shovels. He had a forger shoeing the horses. He had, he do all sorts of things, and because he had a forge, he had a lot of side jobs too. But boom, there we go. But yeah, the favorite tools. It's like I talked about something like this about 4 years ago. 4 years ago. No, 5 years ago. It was right in the middle of the fake demic. And first things out of everybody's mouth. Oh, I love my hula hoe. I love this. All garden tools. I go, no. Homesteading. Think more than just the garden. And if I could afford it after I got my wife and I may go ahead and bite the bullet on this one just for the grandson's sakes. Let's get some horses.
Oof.
If you have good horses, we had some horses when I was young that could be both riding horses, and you could hook them up to an old-fashioned plow or a manure wagon or whatever. A multi-purpose horse like that you can do multiple things with is amazing.
Yeah, horses are great, but you got to feed them. You got to get vet care. Horses can get a little pricey. Yeah.
Well, looking back, and I'd asked my mom about it before she passed away. For the 6 years we had horses, never had a vet out there ever.
Yeah, well,
the one time they got a little impact or whatever. My dad and his friend George Duke, it was that they got over there and they took the garden hose out there and
came in enema.
They did it cowboy style. And horse was okay, all right.
It's all coming out.
It was like, okay, this half ton of hay sucks. And so we gave that to the pigs and stuff and the chicken coop, and they used that and got fresh hay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Don't buy ponies or what their kids did to make them hate horses. Not around here. If kids have ponies around here, they work those ponies, and you take them to the little Buckaroo rodeo in the summer here, and they do on the ponies. They do calf roping. They do team roping. They do barrel racing. They do everything on it on those ponies.
Get a
Funny
donkey.
as heck too.
Get a donkey.
That's the Las Vegas rodeo. Shetland ponies are the devil's spawn. Yeah, I did shoot when I was in California 2 years ago. I shot some footage of the ponies across the street. My wife has named the one Miss Piggy, because when she's trying to feed it, she come over and chase the others off so she get all the apples.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife just started throwing the apples farther to the other horses. When she turned around,
froze.
When Miss Piggy turned around and left to go chase after the apples, then she drops them over the fence, and so she had her running back and forth, and she just tossed them to the other horses. Yeah, check out farm auctions. Yes, Sumi. The one rototiller, the first rototiller I bought of my own rototiller was a little electric one, and I did a video on it 2019, where I was rototilling across the street, and I was planting a bunch of peas and squash over there across the street before we bought this property. And it's okay, but it's one of those ones you use where all the rocks have been removed from the soil first. Because every night, we were using in California in the backyard over there, we didn't realize how much rocks were, occasionally there were rocks down, and they were going off and hit a rock, and they try to strip gears inside of it. So now the gears are slightly worn and everything, and it's just like, so we only use it for stuff just for instead of going out there and turning it over with a shovel, just make a quick pass with it and call it good. But favorite tools for homesteading depends on the size of your homestead. How many, 1 acre, half acre, 5 acres, 10 acres, 50 acres. I could only, if anybody wants to buy me a birthday present, I take a 50 to 100 acre with the 3-well option.
Okay, I'll get right on that for you.
Yeah, and if you're able to find one with 50 used cattle on it too, that works great too. So who was it did it? He hasn't done any videos on it since he built it. But you can see it in the back. Stony Ridge Farmer. Josh at Stony Ridge Farmer built a chicken tractor out of 3-inch PVC pipe and 2-inch PVC pipe. And so what he did is he made the 3-inch PVC pipe for the skids on it and the cross set pieces. And then he put the tees, and he cut the tees in half so he could just glue it onto the top to reduce down to 2-inch, and they built the upper framework off that. And and then he put 45s on the end, so it is turned up on the end, so he could pull it without it digging in. And he just goes out there with his little quad and pulls it real quick and
real slow, so you don't run the chickens over.
He wasn't going really slow. The chickens learn fairly fast. When he starts moving it, it's like don't run away from the quad. Run towards it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you got to find auctions that do on-site auctions at older houses where the person, it's an estate auction, they died, whatever, but they don't live in like the burbs.
yeah.
Where you might get a snow shovel and maybe a couple other implements, not much. Everything else is just trinkets and stuff in the house.
Yeah.
But the bigger ones out by me out here, oh yeah, they do whole farms, shops and things, and they have all kinds of. You look at the pictures online, you can see what they got. It's like, oh, look at that! They got this giant pile of hand tools, implements like shovels and pickaxes and that. It's like, yeah, you show up there and just stand over there and wait for it.
Yeah. There was one estate sale around here that I didn't know about, and someone told me about it. Holy moly! All right, there it goes. Let me get over here, and it's kicking them out right now.
There you go.
All right, so Moon Over Miami picked up a membership. Jeremy, Tennessee Tactical, got a membership. King Poopaw, that's Dustin at White Family Farm, got a membership, and Teresa Buchanan got a membership. Thank you, Lewis. That's the Marshmallow Man. Anyways, one of the guys commented on the Basalt Facebook page. Hey, I'm up here in Idaho Falls. They got an estate sale going on. They got a big gun safe in here that the lady wants to get rid of. She doesn't know what's in it, doesn't know what the combination is. She just wants somebody to haul it off. I got up there 5 minutes after somebody else bought it.
Of course you did.
$300. And they were loading it up, and he had a bunch of guys pushing it, and they flipped it up into the back of his truck, and I heard the rattle inside.
Oh.
Yeah, it was loaded with guns. But $300. Now,
you don't find that around here. They'll hire somebody to open the safe, take all the contents out, put it in a different auction, close the safe back up, and say, "Yeah, we don't know what's in here." And then people bet stupid money, and they get it. They hire somebody to open it up, and you got a safe from 1962 that you just paid $1,500 for.
Well, this was an elderly lady. Her husband, she was in her early 80s. So was her husband. Her husband passed away. She was just getting rid of it. And Jeremy Tactical One's in here. Jeremy at Tennessee Tactical One, mixing up his name and his channel name. And so the thing is, you don't have to go to an estate auction. That's where prices go higher. If it's just if one spouse passes and the other one's getting rid of the other spouse's stuff, or as my wife calls it, getting rid of your crap. Then because you can go in there, if you get in there and you find out about it and get there early, not too early, because sometimes they get offended if you show up too early, but show up right at the beginning and stuff, and sometimes if they're still setting out, do you need help setting it out? I'll help you set stuff out. And then they say, oh yeah, and sometimes they say, oh, we're going to sell that for that. We'll tell you leave it in here. Here's the money for it right now. Pay it. And just leave it in the garage here, and I'll get it later. And or when we get everybody else out of here, or whatever. And I picked up some other tools, some little vices that way.
Little Wilton vices that weigh 100 pounds. Yeah.
75.
Close enough.
Yeah. But it's one of those things is that estate sales, you can get all sorts of cool things for your homestead, be it whatever tools you're going to need. If anybody ever comes across blacksmithing tools and stuff, or has tools, weird metal tools, like got this one looks like a big long tong on it, and if you have a sledgehammer, but the one in the sledgehammer is pointed like this, like this, that's a blacksmithing hammer.
Yeah, little one.
Yeah. Usually looks, we use about a 4 or 6 pound hammer. Yeah, those are, and he's got several of those weird shaping tongs, and yeah, those are something to get hold of. And if you pick them up cheap, you can probably turn around and make sure clean them up a little bit if they're a little bit rusty and stuff, and turn around and sell them for a lot. Especially if you list it on Marketplace or something like that. Blacksmithing tools. Yeah, you'll have farriers coming over to pick stuff up.
It depends on where you're at too. Geography matters. Down by me, everybody shows up to these auctions looking for everything with their phones out now, going, what is that? And they look it up like, I'll get that, and I'll get that. And they overbid on everything. And yeah it's a pain in the butt.
If you're going to be selling stuff like, of course, if they're overbidding on it, hey, look, if it's your garage sale, hey, fine. But
I'm not arguing with that. But the stuff you want money for, you get crap for. The stuff you didn't think would sell, like that top loader Panasonic VCR from 1982, goes for like $600. It's like, really? Nobody can fix that stuff anymore. But okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. I wish I had either my. Yeah. That's one of the things I'm going to be bringing on my next trip down here is my dad's farrier tools. I still got it in the house in Martinez, and I got a big old box. It's got half of it's full of horseshoes, the rest of it's full of all the farrier tools and stuff. I got I have his anvil down here. I brought it up here. I brought it here a couple of years ago, and I've been using it up here to do things on. But I wish I had his portable forge too.
I had a good anvil. I didn't need it, so I left it at a buddy of mine's house. He moved to California with the horses and that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he took it with him or sold it, so I don't have it. But my dad had a piece of Maine Central Railroad rail, like 18 inches long. It's in the driveway here. He had that. He was going to, use that for just pounding on it. It's just sitting there. I use it for a wheel chock for my trailer sometimes. It's not like it's going to rust out anytime soon.
Yeah. And what's interesting, the rails come in different heights.
Mm-hmm.
And the really tall rails, they usually have a thicker head on them as well, and a wider base on them. Those are the mainline rails.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, and those make great anvils.
Yeah, and if you want to shape it and do all that, sure. Get your grinder out and spend about 15, 20 hours grinding it and shaping it and cutting the corners off and giving it the little swoop on the end and all that. This is just a rail. I'm not going to be making, things. Yeah. I just need something to pound on.
Yeah. Well, when I worked for Mountain Cascade, they picked up a 20-foot piece of the rail that was left in the right-of-way where the rail used to be, and a piece got left there off to the side, and they were digging a trench there, putting in 88-inch water pipe, and they're going along okay. And the low bed was dropping off one of the Rex compactors, and he goes, "Hey, back it up here! You're heading back to the yard. Back it up here! Back it up here!" Reached over the excavator, grabbed the rail, dropped it on the low bed, said, "Take it to the shop."
Yep. We
made several anvils out of that, and they'd just gotten a new plasma cutter.
There you go. It still took a little while, though.
Okay, and on the other end, the taper it down to a point on the one end, and man, we made some excellent anvils. Unfortunately, I was too far down the pecking ladder to get one of them. The owner got one. The main owner got one. His two partners each got one. The shop superintendent got one.
And you did all the work to make them. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't do any of the work. Well, I did. I helped out a little bit, but not much. I get in there and we need to move that. I help move some of the pieces around and stuff. Get the little forklift, move stuff for them. But two of the mechanics are in there just cutting it, so they each got one, and the two main equipment foremen each got one. Oh yeah, I guarantee you, they are still using those anvils today, and that was back almost 40 years ago.
Where's it gonna go? I mean, railroad tracks on a not a main line, but a sideliner that gets used maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah, the little shorter ones. Yeah,
those rails last forever. They don't peel over. They don't have to rip them out and put new ones in. They just leave them there. And, I mean, what's it going to do? I mean, the surface area to volume ratio, you got some rust on it. Okay. Not much.
Yeah. But I would dearly love to be able to get some horses, specifically some draft draft horse like a
Clydesdale
or a Pershing or something like that, or a Perching, and be able to use some of the stuff that's sitting around in people's yards here that have to be pulled by horses that they just haven't gotten rid of, and they just don't, just sitting there and they're not using it. It's just kind of a weed decoration out in the
the harrow that's sitting out by the road with flowers growing around it and a mailbox next to it.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to sell that? I'll give you $50 for it. Really? Well, I kind of like.
No. He said you want to get rid of that. Please take it. That's what it is here. Because it's horse drawn. It's not equipment. It's not powered equipment drawn. And because then with the 5 acres across the street, I'd be using it out there and be able to do that. And then may even pick up some other one of the 20-acre plots just outside of town here that are kind of being used.
You could hook it up with a chain to your hitch attachment on the tractor and put it in super low and just drive slowly and let somebody back there do their thing.
Yeah,
it's cheaper to change the oil than it is to feed a horse.
Yeah, well, put it this way, a good like a Clydesdale and the Perchons and some of the other ones, believe it or not, those are very, very mellow horses.
Oh yeah. Well, if my buddy Rich was watching, his dad raised Clydesdales. Yeah, they're mellow, but they can be sketchy too, like any horse.
Yeah, but what's amazing is when they got little kids around them, you see the horse takes on a really cool demeanor when they see kids, and all of a sudden it's like they look at the kids, they look at the kids, and you can almost see the smile on the horse's face. And they go down and they go on the hair of the kid and stuff, and all big old tongue comes out up the side of the face.
Yeah. Horse is like, I'm so much bigger than you. I could just sit on you and crush you.
The horse is like, oh, it's my little teddy bear. I'm going to love you and cuddle you and pet you and lick you. Oh, what we got here? Oh yeah, they are huge. Yeah, definitely. Down in Southern California, there was a. I'm not sure it's still there because it's been many moons since I was down there. The Budweiser.
Yep.
Sort of like Knott's Berry Farm, it was Budweiser and had all sorts of stuff there, and they had horses there, and they, at noon they'd go out and pull the wagon around the all the little road, streets, pathways of the place and back in, and of course all the kids are just absolutely going ape poo poo over it. Oh,
bandsaw.
Yeah, bandsaw. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, free is an awesome price.
That sounds it's needed to handle. That sounds like one of those tilting bandsaws.
Yeah.
Those things are so cool. Oh yeah. I saw a reel on some stuff. there were three places listed. One was at the Alameda County Fairgrounds in Pleasanton in California. One was in, was it in Ohio, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio? And I think the Orlando one was the other one listed for draft horse things, different things going around the country.
I know the Budweiser horses, they're extremely picky. They don't just go buy a Clydesdale. No, it has to have specific colors and a specific length between the shins. And
they have 3 farms or 3 ranches.
Yeah.
That raise their Clydesdales.
That's my Richard, who's watching. His dad did that, and I don't remember I think one of his foals was close, like it was in the running, but he didn't get it. Yeah. So he never got the Budweiser. Or maybe he did. He'll correct me tomorrow, or probably here when we're done. He'll call me.
Yeah, they have Budweiser has an extensive breeding program, and of course they're also keyed in with all the other ones that are raising, the Clydesdales as well. Yeah. And it's like, okay, tell you what, we want to breed this horse with yours. We want, we'll do several years of breeding. We want 2 of the colts. You can have the other 2, and they do stuff like that. And it's just, It's like, okay, I want to be one of the ones one of the ones that's not quite good enough, and you're never going to breed again.
Yeah, but if the colors don't quite match exactly what they want, and that thing just goes out the pasture. They might rebreed it in hopes that if they get the right breed between mom and dad, it might get one that has the exact things they need. That's why they're so expensive.
Yeah. But if you want to look at this from I'm not going to use that term because they just totally ruined it. A homestead prepper outlook. Horses are if you are expecting things to go anafroze, and you have 10 acres or more, or someone that does, and they're currently using diesel tractors to run it, that might be something to look into and say, especially if things are looking like it's going to go in a certain amount of time, getting a couple of horses, and when things go belly side up, suddenly those horses are going to be king of the fields.
Yeah.
Because, there's only so much you can do with the diesel supply will only last so long if everything turns upside down, and horses will become, just not just because the price of them. I mean, not for price and stuff, but because
it's all you got.
That's all we got to get the crops going, to do fields and do everything else. And I wish I had gotten a soft copy of it. I'm not sure what happened to it, but we got so much stuff packed away down in California. That was my dad's and stuff. But the family Bible that came from his mom had pictures of the first combine in California. It had 60 mules pulling it, and it wasn't in a line. They were lined out, it was, and it had like 20 people working it. And this is a massive, big old operation. It was wide. I mean, it's, and the mules were going to pull everything, and they just go through the fields doing stuff. But it was the first one there, and it was my great grandfather that had brought it in there, Archibald Patton, down there in Riverside County, and got the pic. There's a picture of it, old black and white picture, and just showing you how things had to be. And the thing is, so It was all the mechanics was made by the wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have that extra horsepower, not just like pulling a wagon, pulling it to make it turn the wheels, to turn the belts, to turn the equipment, everything else on it. That's why they use the big draft horses, or they use teams of mules.
Did you see that one video? It was like the biggest steam powered tractor. And did you see that? Yeah.
With the bottom plow behind it, and they got like 20 guys or 30 guys on the bottom, and they got all these bottom plows, and they're all working the adjustment as it goes to different software. Oh yeah.
And that thing was just going thud, 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 thud. I mean, those wheels were massive. And that thing had to weigh 40 tons. But that was a cool video.
Hang on here. World's
biggest tractor.
Bottom plow.
Steam tractor. Yeah.
There we go. Made history. All right. I'm going to try to get this up here. Hopefully it won't have, get it going. And of course, it propped up with an ad. So I can wait for the ad here. So I don't want to show the ad and stuff. But yeah.
It's probably a Budweiser ad.
No, it's a H&R Block ad. Okay. Here we go. Make that big. All right. So hang on. I got to show a
disclaimer
here first. So I got to all right, where is it? There it is here. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Yes, this is a disclaimer. Even though it's another YouTube channel, I'm just showing it for fair use purposes, education, and entertainment. All right, so this is from up on the steam tractor. And look at this is the bottom plow. Look at that bottom plow.
Yep.
Huge. And everybody's here to watch it.
Look at the wheels on that thing.
Yeah, the wheels are massive. And
they're not rubber.
They used to pull something like this with teams of mules spread out before they got these steam things. And if everything turns upside down, it's going to take a decade or so before they have this type of steam stuff going. There it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they get around this. So this is the a world record here. And it's moving. The guy yelling, "Drop them, drop them, drop them!" as they're dropping the bottom plows.
Yeah, they're all not handheld. They're
hand adjusted.
Yeah, they're leveraged, but they have to hold it to keep the depth right.
No, they got locks on them, like a brake lock, and that's what they're working it back and forth on them. If that's doing this is a case, not a John Deere, a case.
That was when tractors were tractors and men were men. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get to the back here. So there it goes. And see it's got the gears things on it so they can lock it in position as they adjust them up and down. But this is what's called these are bottom plows. So it's a case pulling a John Deere. But yeah, so that's the way they used to work the land, like that. And then they'd have another one coming through, and maybe either they plow it twice, or then they have a disc behind it, coming through and discing it, break it back down again. But yeah, I would love to have the land to be able to put that thing to use all the time.
You need about 700 acres, but yeah.
No, you'd only need 50 acres.
Yeah.
Maybe 100. Maybe 100. But yeah, I mean, just that is amazing. And that's not rotor tilling. That's just turning it over. So the worms and the microbes aren't getting destroyed. They're just getting turned over. So all that biomass is getting turned over down into the soil.
Yeah, you're still disturbing it a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. But you notice those wheels ain't slipping.
No, because there's no rubber on it, and they're just digging in.
But still, it's not tearing it up. It's it's enough weight to push down on it, and it's just going, and it's not too fast. It's just going.
Yeah. The steering wheels only have that little wedge in the middle. They're just flat.
All right. So I'm gonna pull that off before I get too much on there. But yeah, so if you guys want on it, you just look for history made 150 case plowing with 150 case plowing with 50 bottom plows. Yeah. Here, but tell you what I'll do. I'll drop the link in here for you guys. That way, there's the link to that video, so you guys can go watch it. And yeah, give them a thumbs up over there. And it's got like 360,000 views on it, but only 2,000 thumbs up. So give them a thumbs up if you go watch that. You know, because that video deserves a thumbs up. I guarantee you. Yeah. Plow, disc, harrows, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's some people. I've heard other channels saying that's their favorite homesteading tool, chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
If they have land and stuff like that where they need it, yeah, chainsaws are sometimes your favorite tool if you got a lot of trees on your land that you can take down whatever purpose you need to take them down for.
I have a steel that I've used. I have a brand new Husky that's 3 years old. I've yet to fire it up. It's a 440. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it'll wind up getting fired up this coming year, I'm sure.
Yeah, I get so jealous of some of the channels out there. Weed'em and Reap with their sawmill.
Oh yeah,
a couple of the others with their sawmill because they got land and they got big trees on their lands and they got a couple hundred acres, and it's like and as they take trees down and take stuff out, they're enlarging their usable pasture area, but they're using the wood for multiple purposes. They, all the scab boards off, which is the partially rounds where they cut it to make square beams. The stuff they cut off, that's firewood. The other stuff is, or if it's not firewood, it's for siding on the pole barns and stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, so chainsaws, sawmills, there's a lot of tools that can become your pros. A lot of tools that can become your favorite depending on the size of your homestead, the main focus of your homestead, what you're doing, everything else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up the 18 volt 12-inch bar, 12-inch bar Ryobi at Home Depot before they stopped carrying that. They came out with a 20 volt motor, and they went to a 9-inch bar instead of the 12-inch bar.
I'm probably going to pick up the Craftsman one because I got lots and lots and lots of Craftsman 20 volt max everything. Yeah. And I'm probably going to wind up picking one up just to have for the little crap.
Yeah. It was when the guys were taking down the trees here and stuff, and I was using my Coyote to move all the wood around and stuff. I had mine on the back in the area right behind me as I was doing it and moving stuff around. And, they had their own and stuff as well. But I'm trying. They're loading the the logs they cut down into the 18-inch lengths and into the bucket and stuff, and they go to turn one over, and there's a thing on it, and the other guys are using this chainsaws. Here, cut it quick. They got to cut it, hand it back to me, and finish loading. I'd go off, because it kept me moving faster, kept them moving faster. And sometimes just that little chainsaw just works great. Something's going on. It's like, okay. And the 12-inch one was just, it was just cutting through almost as fast as my old Nicolas would do.
They're great for limbing. You cut a tree down. You don't have to worry about the thing like revving out. It just shuts off. As soon as you let the trigger go, it shuts off. You can just pull the trigger and just like cut off a whole bunch of little branches and stuff and move on.
One time, there was one day that my wife and I are working on the big box elder tree across the street, and I didn't have the camera set up. We just decided to start working on it, and I didn't even think, okay, get the ladder for you. I have two electric 16-inch bar chainsaws, a Win and a Black & Decker. And we had extension cords out there. We were both up in the tree, just, thinning stuff out and cutting out all the dead stuff. Oh, that would have made a great video. And, but, we were both up there, and just, I would just love to show you how well my wife, the staff sergeant, turned into a tree monkey. She was doing stuff that's like, damn, you're almost as good as I am.
Nice.
Cool.
I took down a 30-inch willow in my backyard with a 12-inch Craftsman chainsaw, electric, that my dad bought for me back in I think like 82. The oiler didn't work because, it just didn't work anymore, and I wasn't going to take it apart to try to fix it. So I just sat there and kept spraying it with WD-40. I took down a 30-inch diameter willow tree. And I actually went out and bought a 14-inch bar and chain for it, and it didn't care. It just had, because back then, everything was overpowered. Now it's underpowered.
Hang on here. There we go. So, what I got here, I got this about a year and a half ago. When I got because the oiler on my one electric one stopped, or it got plugged up, and I haven't wanted to take the whole thing apart and experiment and actually fix it or not ruin it. So what I did, I got a couple of these. Yep. And I filled full of the chainsaw oil. And so I just, we were out there using it, and just, lift up on the top bar a little bit, with gloves on because the chain's hot, and you go squirt, squirt, squirt. Zip, zip, run it and lift it up again, a couple more squirts in there, run it around a couple more times. You're good for 5 minutes.
Yeah. You can tell when the chain was getting hot, the chain was getting floppy. It's like, okay, you expanded. Let you cool down, spray it down, or oil you up a little bit, and back to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and these little oil cans here are just absolutely fantastic. Oh, and now they got a 10% coupon on it, currently on it. So you can get a coupon on it right there to 10% off. So that's $1.25 off. But that's 2 cans for $12.
I have a old brass oiler with the where you use your thumb on the bottom of it. It goes blink, 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 blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Here's what's interesting is the my old 24-inch McCullough big monster. I mean, that one's big enough I can actually put a 48-inch blade on it, or a 48-inch bar on it. But at the end of the bar, it actually has like a hole on each side that you has a special grease tool.
Grease, yep.
And you pump it, and it starts coming out everywhere. The new ones, both the electric ones I have and the battery powered one doesn't even have the hole to be able to pump grease into it.
Nope, it has a wheel in there, but it's lubricated for life. They just don't tell you how long the life is.
Yeah. But yeah, when the guys were out here with their what they have, they had stills. Yeah, for the gas powered ones, they had stills. The blades they got, the bars they got on those had it on there. They had the commercial ones, and so they'd be in the morning first thing for starting up, and at lunchtime, doing it again.
Lube it up.
Got a large junky elm trees that drop branches everywhere. But yeah, I mean that's the way the cottonwoods were. You get a good breeze, and you got stuff coming off. I mean these things had that were out here. There were so friggin' many widowmakers in the old growth ones near the front of the property. I mean, the guy was up there with the boom. He was up there and he's looking stuff, and he actually had a rope with a hook on it, and he was reaching out and grabbing a branch and yanking it down so it wouldn't fall on him while he's cutting stuff down. Finally, you started going up high, and you started cutting stuff from the top down a little bit on the one side, and as the live branches were falling on the dead ones, it knocked everything down. Yeah. Problem is, most of the elms aren't the original American elms. They're the crap. It's the other elm they brought into that they thought they were going to try to save them with, and it's got a bunch of those growing around, but they're not the American elm. Well, okay, I hear things going on there with the grandkids. Oh, and it's time to. So yeah,
kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The favorite, like I said, my favorite stuff is tractors or horses. Chainsaws are good. Yeah, but yeah. There's this. When you're actually working a homestead, and you start doing more stuff, and you're working it for however you're working it, whether you're raising cattle, whether you're raising goats, whether you're just raising crops, you're going to learn what your favorite tool is, and you're going to learn about tools you never thought about. Or at least you'll go, oh, this one's supposed to. Wait a minute, I remember my grandpa having something like that.
Yeah, and he used it all the time, and now I want one.
Yeah, now I know why he used that all the time. All right, so coming up here, let me get this open up here. All right, so, wrong one. That one. There we go. All right, so tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping is rope work. No, you're not. Time to go to scout camp, folks. We're going to talk about all the different type knots and their uses and stuff. Monday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, the topic is clean out your freezer. After last week, we talked about putting stuff in your freezer. Now I'm going to talk about getting stuff out of your freezer and cleaning the freezer out. Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping is off-grid laundry. Thursday night is the midnight ride, and then next Friday here is recommended by somebody in the chat here. Doesn't want to be named, so I'm not going to name them. But it's cheap stuff that does the job, aka Harbor Freight, and the like of that. But so yeah, we're gonna talk about cheap tools that do the job, and yeah, so we'll talk about that next Friday. And what does we got here? Okay, I'm just reading the thing. All right, everyone, thanks for coming by. Thanks for all your comments in the side chat, and keeping the side chat going there too as well. And yeah, all right, everyone, take care, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepping for learning how to tie knots.
Have a good night.
And here we go. Bye.